the title of the today's workshop is Microsoft Excel lookup functions, right? Lookup functions. Now, what are lookup functions? If you see this formula tab, there are a lot of lookup function and references out here. So lookup and reference functions are here. What we'll be talking today is the most critical functions within this category, which is a VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, which is a very new thing which has come, which is probably not available in your system, but I'll take you through how that is applied. Probably over a period of time that will be available with all of you also. And also the lookup with wildcards. So this is the idea. Starting with it, the one of the most important functions used today in Excel world or in finance world, in marketing world, anywhere, whenever we use Excel, is a VLOOKUP, right? So coming to worksheet 1, I'll just take you through few data sets here and there, and then we try to put in some formulas here and there, and then learn how to use this in most effective way. So we'll come to worksheet 1. If you see the data, this is a very typical worksheet we use. If you see the data, we have a data of roll number, name, maths, and physics, taking you through the very first how this function works. Just see, team, Mr. Ramdas has not got the files. If you can help them or send it to him. Right? The files were shared on mail as well as on group, WhatsApp group. So you can download it from there. Anyways, please connect with him and help him out. So roll number, name, maths, and physics. Now what VLOOKUP function does is it retrieves the value for us, right? In a bigger set of data, it will help us retrieve the value. When I say retrieve the value, what I mean is, suppose I have to retrieve the marks of physics for somebody whose roll number is 64. For somebody whose roll number is 64. So this is the roll number column. This is the name. This is marks of maths. This is marks of physics, right? So I have to retrieve the physics marks of somebody whose roll number is 57. Now, how do I do it is, just a minute. So there's a lookup function which is VLOOKUP. Now, what VLOOKUP does is, it will ask you for 4 things. First is lookup value. What do you want to look up? Then the table array. Where do you want to look up? Then the column index number and the range lookup. Let us see what these are. Lookup value. What do we want to look up in roll number? We want to look up a roll number which is roll number 57. Now it is asking me table array. That means where to look up. Where to look up. So I'll say you have to look up the roll number 57 in this. Right, in this array. Now important point is we don't only select this, we select the complete array. Now it is asking me column index number. Because I wanted the physics marks, so column index number will become 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is column index number 1, which is roll number. This is column index number 2. This is column index number 3, and this is column index number 4. So I'll say 4, comma. Now it is asking me true or false. Now false means exact match. That means if I don't get a roll number 57 out here, what should I do? Should I give you an error or should I retrieve some value for you? Because 57 is available here, right now we'll stick to false. False means exact match. That is, I am telling Excel that if you don't find 57, you have to give me an error. So if I look at it, the output of this will be, so it will look for roll number 57. It will go to the 4th column of this array and it will retrieve 75 for us. It will retrieve 75 for us. This function, particular function, is considered to be one of the most used functions in the world. Right? I'll take you through it again and let me know if you have any issues in applying this or something. We can apply it together and then we'll see if we have any issues in applying it together. Now, what I'm saying is equal to VLOOKUP. What it is going to ask me first is the lookup value. So what we are going to look up is a roll number 57, comma. It is going to ask me table array. So table array will be this complete array, comma. It is going to ask me the column index number. Column index number means from which column do I want to retrieve the marks or something. Suppose I wanted the name of roll number 57. So my column index number here will become 2. And a false. False means if you don't get 57, give me an error. If you don't get 57, give me an error. That is what false means. Right? If you don't get 57, give me an error. That is what false means. Right? For example, if I put some roll number which is 59, which is not available. If I put 59 out here, because I have used a false exact match, it will give me an error. Had I used something which is true, it will give me some other value. If I used a true, it will give me value of couple, which is this. Although this is not the right way it works, but true will give me some value. I'll tell you how it will work with another example. So I'll use a false here, and it is giving me error because 59 is not available. So if 57 is available, it will give me couple. Right? Any doubts in this? Anything? Please apply it and let me know. I'll wait for a minute for all to try. If you have any doubts, we can just discuss it through and then we go ahead. So this is how VLOOKUP works. VLOOKUP means vertical lookup. Important pointers out here is it will look for 57 in the leftmost column of the array selected. It will look for 57 in the leftmost column of the array selected. Right? That means if 57 is here as a marks also, it will not look for 57 out here. It will look for 57. 57 may be here also, but it will not look for this 57. It will look for 57 in the leftmost column of the array, here only. Right? That means it will only look from left to right, not from right to left. Important is, I'll just put slightly reduce the size of it so that it fits on the screen. Yes. So what I'm saying important here is, suppose I say equal to VLOOKUP. Then I want the mass marks of Geeta. This Geeta out here. So I say Geeta. What to look up? Geeta. Table array. Now if I select the array from here, it will not work because it will try to look for Geeta in the leftmost column of the array. So from where I should select the arrays? From D6 to F17. From D6 to F17. Comma. Because I want the physics math marks. So I'll say in this in this array, this is column index number 2. So I'll say 2, comma, false. 2, comma, false. Now it will retrieve the marks for Geeta, which is 46. Had I selected the complete array, which is C6, it would have given me error because it would have tried to look for Geeta in the leftmost column of the array. Right? Hopefully this is clear. So I have to select the from. Whenever we are entering the names, it's not a number. We have to put it within double quotes. We have to put it within double quotes. If this is fine, just can we have a yes in the chat box so that we can go ahead. If this is fine with all and we are able to do this. Just revert with a yes in the chat box and we'll go ahead. Wonderful. Great. Komal, I'll repeat it. What I'm trying to say is, it is asking you what to look up. So I said you have to look up for Geeta. Now Geeta is in which column? It is in D column. So my array will start from D6 to F17. It will start from D6 to F17 and not from C6 to F17, because if I start the array from C6 to F17, it will try to look for Geeta in this column. It always looks for what you are looking up in the leftmost column of the array. And that's why I said column 2, because what I want is to retrieve from the second column. Wonderful. Now, generally, how do we use it is, we may create a space and say enter roll number. We may create a space and say enter roll number. Right? And we may create a space for column index number. Now, if I have to retrieve some marks, right, for any roll number, what I have done is, I'll just create a space for enter roll number and column index number. Now, if here I have to write a formula so that if I keep on changing the roll number out here, I should keep on getting the marks based on or anything based on column index number. So what I'm going to do is, I'll write a formula equal to VLOOKUP. lookup value, I'll say whatever is there in this enter roll number. Where to look up? Because I'm entering roll number, I'll go here and select this. It is asking me for column index number, column index number. I'll say whatever column index number is out here, comma, false, comma, false. The moment you do this, it's an error because I have not entered anything out here. Now have a look at it. Suppose I want the name. Name is in which column of the array? Name is in the second column of this array. So I'll put 2 in column index number. Suppose I wanted the name of roll number 77, this one. So the moment I put 77 out here, see, Lavi comes out. Because what I have done, when it asked me what to look up, I linked it to J11. Where to look up? I linked it to C7 to C6 to F17. Then column index number became 2, which is your name column. So it retrieved the Lavi for me. Hopefully this is done. Right? If you wish, I'll just copy this formula and paste it in the out here. And paste it out here. Right, just have a look at it, try it out, and let me we can just let me know if there's any issue, or we'll go ahead. Right, hopefully this is done. Let us go ahead. In case I have a very interesting formula to introduce out here, which is a match, which will help me, because if it's a very big data, think of it, it's a very big data. Is it easy to remember column index number? Is it easy to remember column index number? It is not easy. I would love to put in here maths, physics, or roll number, or some name or something. So what I want is, if I put a name out here, suppose I write name, so I should get the name. If I write maths out here, I should get math marks. For this, we have one more formula which we should know, which is a match. Which is a match. We have a formula. Wonderful. So what I'm saying, which is a match. Now what match does? Just have a look at it. Match. Right. What I'm saying, match. Just have a look what we are changing. We are just changing a few things. I'll make a copy of this. I'll make a copy of this, paste it here. Now instead of this formula is working with this part. Instead of this, I am going to write enter entity. Enter entity means I want you to write here whether you want a name, or you want a math marks, or you want a physics marks. Right? What do you want? I want you to enter that entity out here. To use that, we should understand one more function, which is a match. Suppose I enter name. Suppose I enter name. Name is in which column counting from left? At what position counting from left here? If I say count from left and tell me at what position the name is, it's in the second position. It's in the second position, right? So what match will do is, just have a look at it, which will help me do very interesting thing. Match. Match what? I'm going to say match what is written out here. Match where? Match it here. And then 0, which is exact match. The moment I run this, it will give me 2 to be the output. What output we are getting is a 2. Right? What we are getting is a 2. If you look at it, if you look at this, what we were giving as column index number for name? In this formula, when we wrote the formula here, I linked it to column index number. What we were giving as output out here is a 2. What this match is giving you is a 2 as the output. Right? Now, if I have to use this, just have a look what formula I'm going to bring up. Then let me know whether match is understood or not. Match is doing what? Match is giving you the position of a particular entity counting from left. Match is giving you, when you said name, it is giving you the position of name counting from left. If you understand this, this is also the column index number. If I count from left, if I have to find out name, what column index number I'll give? I'll give it to be 2. If I have to find maths, I'll give it to be 3. Column index number in VLOOKUP. If I have to find physics, I'll give column index number to be 4, right? So what I want is I'll write a formula here. Just have a look and tell me what answer it will give me. You can answer in the chat box. I'll say VLOOKUP. I'll say VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP what? VLOOKUP this. Where to lookup? I said lookup in this array. Column index number. At the place of column index number, I run a match. I run a match and I say match this. Where to match? Match it here, comma, exact match, comma, false for. Now what output this will give? If you can just let me know. If I run this formula, can you answer in the chat box what output will I get? Lovely. Everybody have a look at the formula and try and find out what answer will I get when I run this. It's a VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP what? VLOOKUP 77 roll number. Where to lookup? I have selected the array. Then I am running this match. What will be the output? At the place of column index number, I am running this match. This match is going to give me the output to be 2. This match is going to give me the output to be 2. So what will happen? It will retrieve from the second column. Very true. Rahul, Tanveer, very true. The moment I run this, see, it is giving me Lavi to be the output. Why? Because name is at what position? Name is at the second position from counting from left. The moment I change, just tell me what will happen in this orange cell. The moment I change this to maths, what will be the output? If we can just discuss in the chat box.
59.
It will be 59 because now maths will retrieve the third column index number. Just have a look. So now I need not get into column index number, need not remember column index number. What I'm going to do is just type what do I want. Suppose I physics, it will give me 45, which is the roll number 77, 45 marks. I change the roll number, which is 47. I get my new, or 56. I get my new 67 as the marks, because if I type a name out here, the Hema comes out, which is 56 Hema. So the moment I've created this, from next time onwards, I'll just keep on changing this. My output will keep on changing. Hopefully this is clear with all. Let us, any doubts, we can take it, else we go to the worksheet 2. Worksheet 2. Up till this point, we were using VLOOKUP with a false in the end. With a false in the end. Right? How to use a VLOOKUP with a true in the end is what we want to understand out here. How to use a VLOOKUP with a true in the end is what we have to look out here. If you look at this, we have sales representative, we have sales. Here I want to retrieve the commission. Here what do I want to retrieve is the commission rate. And here what I want to do is to get the commission to be paid. Commission paid. Now situation is, we have few employees in our organization who works on commissions. Right? The amount of sales they do, we pay them the commissions, or we pay them the fees for it. For the amount of work they do. Suppose they have sold amount of 1.2 million or something sales. Now this is your commission chart. If the sales is between 0 to 5,000, the commission applies is 1.5%. If the sales is between 5,000 to 10,000, the commission applies is 3.25%. If the sales is between 10 and 20, this commission applies. Now what I want to do is, I want to write a formula here. I'll just reduce the size of it so the commission. I want to write one formula here such that based on what sales is done, my commission from this table is retrieved. Right? Now what happens is, we need to understand how true works. True will always give the nearest smallest value. That means if there's a value which is 120, is 120 available here? No. So if I use the true in the end, it will give me the value for the nearest smallest. That means it will give me the value against 1 lakh. Again, Anita made a sales of 1.2 million, right? Now, if somebody made a sales of 1.2, in which categories this 1.2 lies? Between 1 and 250. If I use a true in the end, it will always keep on giving me the value against this till 249. Just have a look. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to say VLOOKUP. We look up what? We look up this. Where to look up? Look up here. Look up here. What to retrieve is the second column value because I want the commission rate. So I say 2. Now, if I use a false, see what happens. Exact match. It will give me an error because 120 is not available here. Just have a look. But instead of this, if I use a true, which is I'm saying approximate match, which I'm saying to be a approximate match, it will give me 7%. It will retrieve 7% for me. It will retrieve 7% for me. Why? Because 120 is what? Between 1 and 250. Because I have used a true and I've allowed Excel to give me nearest approximate match. So it will go to the nearest smallest value and give you the value against it. Is this point clear? If yes, please put a yes so that we move ahead. If not, do let me know. I'll take it again. Everybody to respond, it will help us. If this is clear, we'll move ahead. If not, we'll take it again. Wonderful. Wonderful. Now, obviously, if I get this value, what commission to be paid is, I'll just multiply this with this and I'll get the answer. I'll say this is to be paid. 8400 to be paid. You can apply the formula and try it out. One more thing we have to do before dragging. Obviously, I'm not going to write the formula again and again. I have to drag it down. But before dragging it, because this is the array which should not move. What happens is if I move it down, the array here will move from this place to this place, which I don't want. Array will move from this place to this place, which I don't want. So what I have to do here is, at this place, I have to select this range and F4 and block it off. And block it off with the dollars. Now what happens is the moment I drag this down, double click or drag this down, see all the commissions have come correctly. Now this formula also I have to just drag it down. I'm getting my how much is to be paid.
So can you please show it again?
This one?
The yes, freezing one, yes.
Freezing, what we did, we have just selected this and pressed F4 with a function key if you're using laptop.
Yes, so I also miss sometimes whenever I do it, I miss the logic, how to freeze it. I know we freeze it,
right,
but don't know where to put the freeze formula.
I tell you what happens is if I don't freeze it, just have a look. If I don't freeze it off, I remove the dollars from it. Just give me a minute. So if I keep it this way and I drag it down, see what is happening. What I've selected as the array is this one, right?
Yes.
But if I drag it down for the next, what array is coming out here is this point to this point.
Yes.
So that will also start moving. So by the end, if I drag it down further, see errors will start coming in because here array will become this.
Okay.
So what I want, because I do not want this array to move. This array should remain same. So I come here and say select this array and freeze it off.
Yes.
Now when I move down K3 to this array remains the same.
Okay.
Right. So I'm asking Excel, wherever I go, this should remain the same.
Okay.
Clear now?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Right. Hopefully this is done. If you want me to paste the formula, I'll just copy it off and paste it in the chat box. You all can take it from there. Now from next month onwards, once this you have created, there is no issue with it. You can just keep on changing the sales and see how much commission to be paid. You can just keep on changing the value and see how much commission to be paid. Right? How much commission is to be paid. Wonderful. Let us come to worksheet 3. Let us come to worksheet 3. If 2 is done, you want me to wait for a minute, I'll wait for a minute on 2. Because I have some agenda to be completed, I'm just moving on. But if you want me to wait and try it off for a minute, I'll wait. Let us do one thing less, but let us do it. Okay, great. Wonderful. So let us go to worksheet 3. Now in worksheet 3, this is the employee ID. These are the employee IDs, right? And we have, these are the employee IDs written out here, not in the same order, but differently, any employee ID. The total pay given to these employees were Q1 pay, Q2 pay, Q3 pay, Q4 pay, and this is the total. This is the total pay, right? What I want is, I want this employee ID pay to be retrieved out here. I want this employee ID total pay, this value to be written out here. Now it is difficult because there can be hundreds of employees. If I have to retrieve the total pay from this sheet, I cannot do it because IND 35, I'll have to go and identify this, copy this and paste it out here because these are not in the same order. Otherwise, I would have transposed. The function to be used out here is a HLOOKUP. The function to be used out here is a HLOOKUP. HLOOKUP is very similar to VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP is a vertical lookup which will look from left to right. HLOOKUP is a horizontal lookup which will look from top to bottom. HLOOKUP is a horizontal lookup which will look up from top to bottom. Now it is asking me what is the lookup value. I am saying this is the lookup value. Now where to look up? It is asking me where to look up. So I am saying you have to look up in this array. That means the table array. Now what it will do is it will look up for this IND 35 in the topmost row of this array. It will look up for IND 35 in the topmost row of this array. Now it is asking me row index number. So this is your array. So row index number, this, see, just have a look at the cursor. This is row index number 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, and this is 6. This is row index number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'll type in 6 and I'll type in false, exact match. What to block? What to block because I'm going to drag it? I'll block this off. I'll block this off. Why I'll block this off? Because otherwise when I drag it down, this complete array will move down. Enter. See if I'm getting the right value. This is coming in here. Now you don't have to do anything, just drag it off. You will get the right value. How HLOOKUP works? HLOOKUP works from top to bottom. Whatever you are looking up, if you are looking for IND 35, it will look up in the topmost row of the array. Topmost row of the array. And then it will ask you for row index number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Because I wanted the total pay, so I said 6. Suppose I would have wanted Q1 pay. What would I would have written out here in place of 6? If you can just answer in chat box.
2.
If I wanted Q1 pay, what I would have written in place of 6 is I wanted the Q1 pay for all employee IDs.
3.
Q1, it will be 2 because this is first and this is row index number 2. This is row index number 1, this is row index number 2. Q2 hota to 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. Hopefully this is clear. Would appreciate a quick yes before we move ahead. I'll talk of it, Ravi. Just give me 5 minutes. A quick yes and we'll move ahead. Wonderful. So VLOOKUP is vertical lookup, HLOOKUP is appreciate everybody just quick yes. We'll move ahead. And HLOOKUP is horizontal lookup, which is from top to bottom, right? So this is how HLOOKUP works, and this is one of the very interesting examples how to use a HLOOKUP. Coming to worksheet 5 first, let us cover XLOOKUP, and then we'll go ahead and do this sheet, which is again a very, very, very interesting sheet, how the VLOOKUP applies, and then we'll do one more example if time permits. Okay, to all, let us come to worksheet 5. Now what has happened is Excel has come up with a formula which is XLOOKUP, probably not available in most of the systems which you are using because it is only available in the latest versions of the Excel, which is Office 365. It is available. If you see, this is XLOOKUP. Probably in the next 2-3 years when it is available and compatible with all the systems, all the versions, probably this may even replace your VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. This may even replace your VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. So I'll just take you through this because when we are talking of lookup functions, we should talk of XLOOKUP now because this is one of the magical things where they have probably this one function will work as a VLOOKUP for you. This one function will work as a HLOOKUP for you. This one function will do the if error work for you. This one function will retrieve the value for you. True, false, everything included. Okay, let us have a look at it. We have a data of names out here. We have a data of their sales figure. We want a category and current category to be retrieved. We want a category and current category to be retrieved. If you see the sheet 5A, this is where you have the data for category and this is where you have the data for category and current category. This is where you have the data for category and current category, right? Category and current category means, for example, Animesh Gaurav, if you see in 2007, he was working in the category of TV department. If you move down, see Animesh Gaurav now works in the mobile department. So this is your current category. Now, no lookup function, whether you use VLOOKUP, whether you use index match, etc., allowed you to directly retrieve the last value. That means if I look for Animesh Gaurav, and there are two Animesh Gaurav like this, it always look for the first Animesh Gaurav directly. It always look for the first Animesh Gaurav and not for the second Animesh Gaurav. XLOOKUP allows you to do it. Let us have a look. Just have a look at it, how it works. Suppose I say XLOOKUP. XLOOKUP is going to ask you for what to look up. XLOOKUP is going to ask you for what to look up. So I'm saying look up for Animesh Gaurav. Now it is going to ask you for where to look up, which is the lookup array. Now this is interesting. In VLOOKUP, had we been using VLOOKUP, can I use VLOOKUP here? I cannot, because I'm trying to retrieve from right to left. VLOOKUP always works from left to right. In this, I have come to 5A. If you look for lookup array, I need not select the complete array. And there can be spaces in between also. Had there been any other data between B and C and D, that would have also worked. So what is the lookup array? Where do I need to look for Animesh Gaurav? Is here. Comma. What do I want to be returned? If I wanted the date to be returned, I would select it, but I want the category. So which array should I select? Return array is this. Right now, if you see after this, whatever are there in square brackets are not mandatory, but it can help you. It is asking you if not found. That means if I don't found Animesh Gaurav in the data, what should I do? So if you put some value here and you are putting any value which is not available out here, it will give that value. That means if I double quotes open, I say not available. So it will print not available if Animesh Gaurav is not there in the data. Right? So if not found, I can put in here. Then there's the match mode. Match mode means do you want exact match or the next smaller value or larger value? And then there's the search mode. Search from first to last or last to first. Right? Please mute. Someone has unmuted. Request you to mute. Thank you. So now, whenever you find a function which is bounded by square brackets, those are not mandatory, but will help you. So right now, I don't want anything which is if not found. So I can close the bracket also. Or I can just say this, if not found done, exact match done, this done. I can close it like this. And press enter. See what gets retrieved out there. We have a TV. What is this? This is the Animesh Gaurav current category, which is a TV. So it is giving me the answer to be TV. I'll just come up here and freeze these two rows because I don't want this and this to be moved in the data. And I come here and drag it down, see all the categories comes out. Ankit Kumar, laptops. Let us see. Where is Ankit Kumar? This is. Just have a look at this. He was in laptops. So that is what got retrieved out there. So in which category he's working or what amount of, on what date this he was there, all these things. Or if there's a big data also, even if I have something in between, I have a 20 row data, 20 column data, 100 column data. I just have to select what to look up and what from where to return the value. So I need not remember the column index number or I need not match or anything. I'll just select this, and it will retrieve the corresponding value from there. Is this clear? I'll take it again. If not, because in a lot of systems, this may not be working. Any doubts with XLOOKUP? Do let me know. Otherwise, I'll just go to current category and help you what it means. Okay, let us do this also, and then we come back in case you have any doubts. Current category is what? XLOOKUP. Current category is what? XLOOKUP. Lookup value. I want to look up for the name. Animesh Gaurav, comma. Where to look up, which is lookup array. Obviously, I have to select the name column. So Control Shift down arrow. Comma. Return array has to be this because I want the category. If not found, I have no issues with this because I know this name is available out there. Exact match. I'll keep it 0 or I can leave it blank. It will take 0 only. Now comes the, instead of searching from first to last, if I say from last to first, it will not retrieve TV for me. It will retrieve mobile for me. That will become the current category. That means in which department is working right now. So instead of this, I am going to say -1, which is your last to first. Bracket close and enter. See the difference. For Animesh Gaurav, now I am getting mobile. This no other functions allows you to do. This neither VLOOKUP allows you to do this, neither your functions like index match allows you to do. Now see, we have retrieved the current category. Anshu Mishra previously was working in laptops, now working in TV. Let us check. Where is Anshu Mishra? Anshu Mishra is here. Previously was working in laptops. That's why this came out. Now he is working in Anshu Mishra. If I move down, Anshu Mishra is now working in TV. So that is why it has come out here as TV now. Hopefully this XLOOKUP is clear. Now, if I have to use this as a HLOOKUP, no difference. What to look up? When it asks you where to look up, if the names are written out here, you could have selected this. From where to retrieve, select the retrieval value. For example, if I use the XLOOKUP in this example, I'll say equal to, I'll just say equal to XLOOKUP. I'll take this off. I'll say equal to XLOOKUP. What to look up? Look up this. Where to look up? Just have a look. Where to look up? I'll go and select this. Comma. It is asking me return array. I'll go and select this. Bracket close because I have nothing to do with not available or something. I press enter. It will give me the value. What I have to block is this and this, because if I don't block this and this, when I move down, see, when I move down, it gives me error because now it is not E2 to K2, what it was here. It has moved to E3 to K3. So what I have to do, I just have to block this one and I have to block this one. Press enter. Now I have to drag it down. See, I'll get the values from the XLOOKUP. Hopefully this is clear. Somebody wanted this to be, yes, it may not be in most of the systems. 0 not understood, Gaurav. What is the, someone wanted the XLOOKUP for HLOOKUP in place of HLOOKUP. Ravi, is this clear now? Hopefully this is clear, right? 0, Gaurav, we're not understood. 0 for what? Here you are saying the 0 which I put in here.
Sir, X, yes, sir.
It's a match mode. Match mode means if you look at it, it's if you want exact match, as we were doing for true and false in the VLOOKUP. हमने commission में किया था. We did in commission where I said nearest smallest value. So if I have to run the same way, if I would, then exact match means if it will not find an image Gaurav, it will give you an error.
Error, okay.
Otherwise, it will give the nearest smallest value had it been numbers. Right?
Okay,
so 0
got
or
it.
it could have been left like this, right?
Okay. ठीक है.
So this is what XLOOKUP is. XLOOKUP is going to be the most powerful thing because it replaces HLOOKUP, it replaces if error, it replaces if error with VLOOKUP, it replaces VLOOKUP, it will index match everything. It replaces the column index now, but the only issue is right now it is not available in all the system. It is not compatible with all the system. The ascending on that works, but if date is this, what to do? Data in ascending. XLOOKUP data you need not have to be in ascending order. That is only for true in VLOOKUP. That is only for true in VLOOKUP. In XLOOKUP, if I would have, there would have been some commissions data which I have removed, but there would have been some commissions or something. It need not be like here for this commission table, I wanted this to be in ascending order because I was to use the true. In XLOOKUP, you need not have to this in ascending order. It will directly go to the nearest smallest value, search for it, and give you the right value. Right? But in yes, this is one of the pointers. If you are using a true out here, one thing important is this value. You are looking for this value out here. This has to be in the ascending order. That means smallest to largest. But in XLOOKUP, there is no such requirement. Okay. One last application of VLOOKUP probably will be very interesting. And then we'll take few questions if you have any around VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, or in the match function that we did, or in any of the use that you have seen, and talk to you for a minute before this 1 hour small webinar on lookup function, because lookup is something which is very, very, very important. Now, if you see here we have some roll numbers. If you see here, we have again the roll numbers, right? Now, this is the roll number, this is the name, this is the score. Score means some test was taken, this is the score. Another test was taken, these are the scores. Only issue is the submission way is not the same. That means somebody submitted earlier, somebody submitted later, and somebody may be absent out here, somebody may be absent out there, so it is not same. What I want is this score to be retrieved out here against the right roll number. Is the problem clear? Here we have some roll numbers, here we have names, here we have the test 1 score. When test 2 was taken, these are the roll numbers, these are the names, and these are the scores. I want to compile it off in one sheet. If I have to do it manually, what I'll have to do, 22NB446. I'll go here, search for it, Control F, 22NB446, and then find the 22NB446. I look for it, here it comes in. I'll go across and say 10. Come here and type 10. Instead of this, I can directly use a VLOOKUP. What to look up? What should I look up is the roll number. When it asks me where to look up, I'll go to the next sheet and say this is where you have to look it up. So I'll select the complete array. It asks me, okay, I've looked it up here. What to retrieve? I'll say 1, 2, 3. I want the score, the third column value, and a false. And a false. I press enter. See, the right scores comes out. Only thing which I need to block is the array, which is this array, which is this array. And if I double click, it fills in. Or if I drag it down, it fills in. It fills in. Right? It fills in. Is it clear? If you want, just try this sheet. Just try this sheet. I'll take you through this. Also, how to find return when we have multiple values. Animesh, I'll name Animesh Thakur names appear 5 times. I'll tell you a way around that, Dheeraj. Just give me a minute. Can you have a look at it? Can we write this formula and try if we are able to retrieve this off? How to write it? VLOOKUP. What to look up is this value, comma, where to look up? Where to look up? Go to this, select this, comma, 3, which is your third column index number, comma, false, which is exact match. 0 or 1 can also be used out. Enter. See, you get the value. Just try it off and let me know whether it's working or not. Why there's an error out here? Can you tell me what I did not do here? Previously, it was not coming, now so many errors. Why? Because I did not block
Freeze
this range. I did not freeze the range. So what I have to do, I freeze it off, then double click, I'll get all the answers. Is this clear? Are we able to run this off? Please put a yes if yes.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful, Kalpesh. Others also, please try it off and let me know if it's working. Wonderful. Complete this off. That Govind, we can always put it in the ascending order, right? We can just put it in the ascending order because the data was in particular data, it was compiled as whoever started with what work. So date wise it has been compiled. If the date is not in ascending order and it's a random date, you can always put it in ascending order. Although otherwise you'll have to use 2 times, 2 or 3 times. Some other formula and combine karna padega, then it will come in. But then it will become a complex function. Right? Wonderful. So this is done, I hope. Any doubts in any of the sheets? I would love to take it. Someone asked me, Govind asked, no. Is Dheeraj asked me about if there are 2 names, right? If there are 2 names, something like this. If Anita and Anita is repeated, how do I find out which Anita? Right? Important point is for using a VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP. Yes. There you sort it off and then do it, because generally the data will be, once you have to retrieve it this way, it will be sorted in a way when the person change the job, change the department. So what I'm saying is, if there are 2 Anita out here, and suppose I'll just pick up one more data from this sheet so that it becomes clear. Suppose this category data, I'll pick it from here, right? And I'll put it on this sheet. What he was asking was, I'll just insert first one sheet. This, oh, I copied that. Just a minute. I've copied it from this, insert won't work. Just give me a minute. I'll tell you what it means, what he's asking, and what is the issue. Any other issue till Excel starts responding? I forgot that I copied and I started to insert, so it pasted. Just give me a minute. Any other doubts which we want to clear? I'll just talk of it till it responds. Okay. First, come here. Come back to this sheet. I'll put it something like here, and I'll say category. Right, and in category, I'll pick up some data from here, something like this, and bring it over here. Bring it in this sheet. I'll bring it over here, right, and I'll drag this off, copy this, and paste it. Something like this, right? Suppose Anita was in TV also, and there was one Anita who was in mobile also. Right, now you wanted the Anita with mobile to be retrieved, but you were always getting Anita with TV. Anita with TV, because VLOOKUP function will always retrieve the first. Suppose I run a VLOOKUP, I say VLOOKUP, right? I say VLOOKUP, and I said what to look up. I say you have to look up for Anita. Where to look up? I say you have to look up here, and give me the sales value. So 3 and a false. So it will always keep on giving me the sales value of the first Anita. It will never give you the sales value of the second Anita. And that brings me to a point that your leftmost column should be a unique value. Either it can be a employee ID, either it can be Aadhaar card, either it can be a roll number, but it has to be unique, because any lookup, whether it is VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, or any, it will always give you the first match. XLOOKUP allows you to get the last match. These are the last 2 up or first 2 last, but in between matches won't come in. What we have to do out here is, one way to solve this problem is, I'll insert a column here, and I'll join these 2. I don't know whether if we all know the concatenate function, this and this. So I'll create a column which we call it as a helper column on the left. Helper column on the left. Right, and I'll drag it across, so this looks like this. I'll drag it across, so this looks like this. Now, when I write the formula, I'll say enter name, enter category. I'll say enter name, enter category. Right. So when I write the VLOOKUP formula, suppose you write the name to be, I'll take this name only. Suppose you write the name to be Anita, and you write the category to be mobile. So now what you want is the sales for Anita mobile. So what I'm saying, you will write a VLOOKUP. What to look up? I'll say you have to look up for this and this combined, comma, where to look up, I'll select from here. What to retrieve is the, now it is first column, second column, third column, and fourth column. I'll say 4, comma, false, comma, false, comma, false. I press enter. Now see what value we are getting. This is the sales value of whom? This is the sales value of whom? This is the sales value of Anita Mobile. So what we have done is, in the formula, we have created a helper column. What this helper column is about? This is a unique column with Anita TV, with Sumit laptop, with parent Pranit mobile. This has now become a unique column, which nothing is repeating. So Anita TV here is different from Anita mobile. While looking up, it asked me what to look up. I said join these two and then look up. Where to look up? Look up here. What to retrieve? First, second, third, and fourth column. And a false. Hopefully this answers your question, Govind. Not Govind, sorry, Dheeraj. VLOOKUP provide first opinion name of search, but XO will VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP, Satakshi will give you the first only, but XLOOKUP gives you an option to look for the last one. In general, if you don't put anything as -1, by default it will give you the first only. But if you select -1 in the end, like we did here, this -1, which is search mode, which allows you to search from first to last or last to first, then it will look from last to first. Otherwise, it will always keep on looking from first to last. Any doubts in this up to this point? Anything we want to discuss? And I hope whatever we discussed, whatever we could, it was fine with all of you.